All right, good evening everyone. Thank you for having me here on my trip to New York. My name is Paul Gibbs and I work with Steph on a WordPress.com VIP team. I'm also one of the lead developers of the BuddyPress plugin, and that's something that Boone is going to cover a lot about today, about our most recent release, I believe. And I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my own plugins that kind of works very nicely with BuddyPress. And it's called Achievements. It's called Achievements for WordPress because it's better SEO, believe it or not. So Achievements is a gamification plugin. What does it do? You can create achievements on your site that when users do certain things, such as maybe replying to a forum post, or joining a BuddyPress group, or some sort of action like leaving a comment or integration with some other plugin, that user unlocks an achievement, they get a big banner, they get badges, and they get points. I call them karma points. And these really help to build with leaderboards. So there's a few, there's probably maybe 3 main gamification WordPress plugins out there, and some of the things that I think makes achievements stand out from some of the others is that the focus is all about increasing community participation on your site. It's not about you're letting your users see the actual features of the plugin. It's making it seem that your site is very seamlessly giving them achievements and recognition for participating in your community. And if you can get that as a sticky hook in BuddyPress terms, if you can get users to keep coming back to your site and interacting, and if you can give them occasional surprises with awards and badges and prizes, that's a really great way to keep the audience engaged and keep coming back. And it fits your site like a glove. I mean, if I asked for hands and said, how many times have you installed a plugin and it's like really ugly with your theme, or it doesn't integrate properly, or there's a JavaScript conflict, I'll probably see a lot of hands. This is quite common. Achievements uses a technique that was pioneered by the BBPress forum plugin, and it's kind of called theme compatibility. And it's one of the, I think one of the only free WordPress plugins that use this pretty advanced approach to integrating your plugin into any WordPress theme. So all you have to do to set up achievements is you just download the plugin, well, just like normal, and activate it. And it works. You don't have to edit the theme, you don't have to manage it. But of course, if you know how to customize the theme or want to really kind of trick it out and make it really pop for your site, you can of course do that. It uses all the standard WordPress template files, custom post types, taxonomies to do this, and it's a really great experience. So this is good. Obviously, all WordPress sites have things like commenting, writing blog posts, but everyone customizes WordPress by features built into their theme or custom plugins. So the real strength of Achievements is that it integrates with the best examples of plugins in particular fields. So for example, it integrates with BBPress, which is the best WordPress forum management software out there. It also integrates with a couple of popular plugins in the WordPress, in a BuddyPress rather, kind of plugin community. We've got BBPress, BuddyPress itself, BuddyStream, Invite Anyone, ScholarPress courseware, and WordPress e-commerce. And in a new version of the plugin, we support a WP Post Ratings plugin. Now, Post Ratings is one of the ranking plugins. It puts stars next to posts or comments. You can go and click on, like, this was a 4-star article, and it kind of displays a rank of how popular that was based on that feedback. And WP Post Ratings is one of the older WordPress plugins that do this kind of thing, and it's used on WordPress.org on the plugins and theme pages. So if you've ever logged into WordPress.org and you've gone like, I rate this plugin 5 stars, and that uses Post Ratings under the hook. It's a really simple plugin to use, which is why I decided to integrate it with Achievements. So with the upcoming 3.4 version, which is should be out later this week, you can get you can encourage and reward your users to leave feedback on articles or forum posts or however else you choose to integrate it. And of course, for developers, it's super simple to add support for your own plugins. I have lots of example code, most of how to do this, how to add support for other plugins. This is best seen through the WordPress.org support forums for achievements. I get a lot of questions there. I put a lot of, there's a lot of effort and time that goes into supporting achievements. So if you have a question about how to use the plugin, or you need some pointers about how to integrate it better into your site, please just leave some feedback on the WordPress.org plugin page for achievements, and I normally get back to you within a day or two. So I'm going to do a quick demo because this is something that works better visually. Or it could go horribly wrong. Yeah. Okay, full screen. So once you activate the plugin in Achievements, it adds a new item to the sidebar. This is like my development laptop, so I've got like a really kind of sketchy looking example achievement.
Turn up the volume or hold the mic closer. The people in the next room are more clear.
Okay, this is louder, this is better. Yeah, thank you. Alright, so if you're familiar with how to publish and edit a blog post, which I'm sure most of you are because that's what WordPress is, the screen looks pretty similar. Let's create a new achievement. And I'm just going to have to drop the mic down because I can't type one-handed very well. So it's all pretty standard. There's a title, a content box, and you see when these things come up in a minute. I'm going to upload a featured image from this achievement. Like that. So we've assigned a featured image for the achievement, just the same like you would for a regular blog post. There's a few boxes on the right-hand side of the screen, in my little box. Karma points. You set, this is basically the currency or the value of the achievement. You might have some achievements which are kind of easy to earn, maybe for like leaving a comment, but maybe if you have an achievement for leaving 100 comments, that kind of merits more recognition, more value. So karma points is a good way. We have a leaderboard which I'll show you, and this is how it ranks. So there's two types of achievements, awards and events. Awards are pretty much like what Steve did earlier with the raffle and the plugin prizes. You just give them out to someone. If someone's done something, you can just, on your site, or maybe your site, your community is all about kind of a buddy press site, something in real life, maybe a scout group or a library. You can use the awards option to kind of give those achievements to people without having to, have it somehow tied up to the computer. We're going to look at the events. Oh. So an event is some occurrence that in WordPress. I've picked a WordPress one. The user trashes a blog post. You can set, and this is just one, but if you wanted the same achievement to trigger on multiple different types of events, you can have as many as you want. This is a pretty simple way of choosing that. You want this award to, or this achievement to be triggered when the user trashes a blog post. And there's an events repeat box. Most achievements, you're going to want to require the event to happen multiple times. It defaults to 1, so what I should do here is I have to delete trash 1 blog post, and it should trigger the achievement. Finally, the redemption code box which I will explain further later. We have a widget called the redemption widget. It's a text box. If you type the code in that you set here, if the user types the code in that you choose when you create the achievement, you can unlock it. So this was, again, I'm going to come back to this, but this is a really good way of, if you have a bunch of codes in real life and you might want to give them out or hide them around your school and kind of let users unlock things in real life, the redemption code, just like a voucher code, is a really kind of fun way of doing that. So I'm just going to publish this. And so this is the kind of the default index page for the Achievements plugin. It's pretty simple, and I know the projector's a little bit faded, so it might be hard to see the white background. And so I'm using the 2012 theme here. If I picked a different WordPress theme, it should kind of work in a similar way. You have the featured image at the top of the page, and we kind of have that title and that body content that I wrote very briefly. So that's what it looks like. And I'm going to go back into the admin and trigger the achievement. Okay, so I've trashed a post. Nothing happens. In this version of the plugin, it doesn't detect whether you've done an achievements kind of on that same immediate page load. The future versions are going to have some kind of jQuery hooks in the back end to flag that up wherever you are on your WordPress site. So if I trigger, go to my home page, I bet this isn't going to work. Yeah, that didn't work. This is a development version, it normally does, must have broken it. So I'm just going to show another way of achieving the same thing. If you edit a WordPress user profiles, there's you can override the number of points, the number of comment that the user has, and can manually award achievements. So if you maybe add a new award and want to retroactively go back and give it to people, you can edit that user profile and do it like this. And so once you do something, and the actions are normally on the front end of the site, you get this pop-up. It kind of takes over the screen, it uses your featured image, the title of the blog post, and there's links you can to encourage your users to post it to Facebook or retweet it. And this is I had a bug report. Now if you unlock an achievement of the current version on BuddyPress, it doesn't show up there. So I've just confirmed that the bug report is valid. But it integrates with the BuddyPress activity stream, so you might be able to make out that it says that DJ port unlock that test achievement. So who uses achievements? I just want to kind of flag up a couple of my favourite achievements powered sites at the minute. And one of them is Teen Summer Challenge. And this is a Pierce County library system in Washington State. And they've been doing this for a few years now. It's basically a summer reading program for kids. And they're using BuddyPress and they're using achievements to kind of bridge their community and they have of kids coming into their library with the kids and encouraging them to visit their website and participate online and to kind of link that gap. Teen Summer Challenge, as I've been working with them fairly closely for getting ideas for the plugin. They suggested a redemption widget feature in their library and they have codes hidden on their bookshelves. So their kids are playing on their website and on the Teen Summer Challenge and they go into their library and they find this code hidden in a book or hidden on the back of a shelf somewhere, and they can kind of get ahead of the game and unlock it. And Teen Summer Challenge is a good example of how a talented theme developer can really spec out the plugin and build it. a newish one called The Source by the University of Chicago. It happened about a month or two ago, and it was a very kind of time-specific site. It was the first week of the university, and it was used as a tool to get the freshers and everyone to kind of interact with each other, and, get talking and participate with stuff. So this is a really good site. It was built by Senza, who are an Australian-based WordPress agency, and kind of their lead developer, Bronson Quick, gave a presentation at a Brisbane WordPress Meetup very recently about how he built a site with achievements. There's a video link, I'll put the slides up later. You can check out the video on YouTube. It's about 20 minutes, and it's a really good insight as to what they were. He goes through the process of what they were when they were trying to build the site and how it ended up. And they used achievements both for like group activities. They split people into 10 groups. And you kind of have to like run around campus, finding things, trading things with other groups. And they used the redemption widget codes, as part of their way to do that, as well as encouraging their community to use this website, to use their kind of university websites to engage online and interact. So this is a cool example, and it's a good example of how a WordPress site or a BuddyPress site doesn't need to live forever. And this is a very specific kind of. It took them 4 weeks to build, and it was for the first week of term, and the site ran for 1 week, and it was all done. So it's a great example of how they could reuse this kind of thing for next year. So I'm wrapping up. I try to get achievements out, releases out pretty quickly. So this week, 3.4, we have leaderboards. I haven't had the opportunity to add leaderboards, ranks, who's got the most points, for a while, due to kind of wanting to implement it in a way that won't crash most WordPress websites. So the leaderboard is really robust, and it's going to scale to sites with hundreds of thousands or millions of users. The code's also had a good housekeeping, tidy up, make sure it was all up to spec. And there's a bunch of new user experience improvements around what happens when they install the plugin. They get redirected to kind of a welcome screen saying, this is what's changed in the release, and this is how you get started. It modelled on the same idea that when you do a WordPress upgrade, it takes you to welcome to WordPress 3.6, and this is what's changed, these are the new features, and that idea. 3.5, which I'm going to try to get out in the next month or two, it's going to be a release focused on getting back to BuddyPress. The earlier versions of the Achievements plugin were built as a BuddyPress plugin. But since the rebuild for the 3.0 version, that was rebuilt so you can just run it on a WordPress site. So if you want to check this out, but you don't have BuddyPress, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need BuddyPress. It works on any WordPress site. And so now it's stable and it's been reasonably successful. I'm looping back to spend the release on BuddyPress and adding features such as better user templates, like member profiles, group-specific leaderboards. Groups are kind of one of my favourite things that BuddyPress do. And you can have like a site-wide leaderboard, and you're going to be able to have group-specific leaderboards. So if you have a group focused around a particular hobby, you can find that, you can compare yourselves to your immediate peers. And we're going to add support for new plugins. I'm currently thinking of adding support for WooCommerce to give another e-commerce option. And I get a lot of requests for plugins, and I try to go with the best ones that kind of do the best example plugins in their fields, and there's not too much overlap. So probably WooCommerce in the next release, and we'll see. And if you have a plugin that you think would work well, and that offers kind of very front-end features to your users, and they come and do stuff provided by that plugin, and you think maybe you want to gamify that activity, please, do let me know on the support forums what plugins you'd like to kind of enable in this kind of system. So that's wrapping up. That's all I have. Do we do questions? Okay. Hi.
Any chance
Yeah, so the question was, is there any way of like overlaying on the gravatars, on the avatars on sites, the latest achievement on their badges, like kind of like pins? And that has come up before. Problem is most user templates or the pictures are tiny. And they're like 50 by 50 pixels, and if you put like a small version of the logo in a corner, you're probably going to block half of someone's face. It's something I want to do, and it's something that I'll probably look to see how I can make that work better with the BuddyPress specific member profiles. Member profiles is a kind of a point to why this plugin works best with BuddyPress. WordPress doesn't have user profiles, it has author accounts. It's not built to have different really accounts for all people who are interacting with your site. So that might be a good type of the thing that I might be able to make work better with BuddyPress, but it's definitely something I want to do. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.